Yes.
Okay, so we'll start. Good morning, all. Today we have Sumit and Durgesh with us. Sumit is having 14 plus year experience, 6 plus year experience in Sitecore. He's a two-time MVP and he's working as a senior solution architect in Rightpoint. And Durgesh is having 12 plus year experience. He's working as senior dev in Rightpoint. They are active community members and always eager to share their learning. So today they'll walk us through Sitecore 10.4. So now they'll start sharing their screen and then we'll get started. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Rinku. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sitecore User Group Jaipur meetup. Thanks again, Rinku, for organizing this session. Today, me and Durgesh both are going to cover about accelerating digital transformation with Sitecore 10.4, new capabilities and improvements. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. Go to next slide. Yeah. So I'm Sumit Bhatia. I'm a Sitecore certified developer and two-time Sitecore technology MVP. I am working on Sitecore from last 6 years, and I have worked on various versions of Sitecore and got certified also. I am Sitecore 8.2, 9 and 10 certified, Sitecore CTP and personalized certified. Recently, I cleared the Sitecore XM Cloud certification as well. I'm having more than 14 years of experience and currently working as a senior solution architect at Rightpoint. I love to explore Sitecore customization and like to write blogs, creating video contents with practical scenario that we have. And I'm a active Sitecore community member. I'm active on Sitecore Stack Exchange, Slack as well. So you can check my community profiles here. So here's a link of all my blogs, my GitHub accounts, where you will find few customized repo and their solution as well. This is my LinkedIn, Twitter, and you can also check my Sitecore Tech Exchange profile. And finally, my YouTube channel where you can find useful videos of Sitecore with the practical examples. I am also working with Rinku to organize the events of Sitecore User Group Jaipur. So if you want to present anything, you can reach out to us and we will work with you. We will work with you closely to help you to present in the Sitecore User Group Jaipur. Yeah, that's about me. Thanks, and over to you, Durgesh.
Hi, I am Durgesh Sharma and working as a senior developer in Rightpoint, and I am a Action Cloud certified developer and having around 13 years of experience in Microsoft technologies. Thank you.
Okay, next slide. So here's the agenda for today's session. So first is Sitecore 10.4 installation issues with multiple SIF version. So we'll talk about problems when installing Sitecore 10.4 due to different version of Sitecore installation frameworks, how to fix these issues and make the installation easier. We'll show you how to verify the SIF on your system with the availability of list and how to manually install the version. Then we will cover new capabilities in Sitecore 10.4. We'll give you the overview of new features like better personalization and easier content management with new update in Sitecore 10.4 and how these new features help content authors, marketers, and developers to help them to do the things faster. Next is improvements in Sitecore 10.4. So there are some improvements in Sitecore for faster performance, accessibility, updates. So these updates helps to key areas like the experience manager and the experience platform. So we will show you how these improvements are working with latest version. And then we'll discuss about the absolute features in Sitecore 10.4. So there is a list of absolute features. So we'll see the list of features that we have that has been removed or are no longer supported with Sitecore 10.4 version, or they are being absoluted from the previous versions of Sitecore as well. So we'll see some tips on how to prepare for future upgrades without any problems. And finally, the resources. So we'll give you some links of helpful documentation, security, the community forums, and Sitecore supports links and tools that can help you manage and improve your Sitecore 10.4 setups and training materials and tips for both developers and marketers. So let's start with all these points, and I would like Durgesh to give you the overview of these features. So over to you, Durgesh.
Thank you, Samir. So whenever we install a Sitecore 10.4 or any version of Sitecore, we know Sitecore installation framework is a powerful PowerShell module which automates the installation of Sitecore. So it makes the configuration environment easier. So there may be a chances that we have already installed any another version of Sitecore. So if in case the multiple SIF is available in your machine, so we can get a this type of issue: fail to import module, Sitecore framework, incorrect PowerShell, partial and unsuccessful installation. So if we are using the fresh machine and fresh installation of only the Sitecore 10.4, then this there is no chance of overcoming this issue. But if we are using another version of Sitecore, then it may arise with your local system. To overcome with this, we just we can go with means however we are going to install the site code in prerequisite SIF is installed, it will gives this type of error. If this arises, then we have to check the available version of SIF in by PowerShell. So get module Sitecore installation framework list. So here the machine is showing 2.2.0, 2.3.0. So but for 10.4 the SIF version 2.4.0 is required. So we are going to install it manually and by this command install modules SIF skip publisher check force. Then next time whenever we see get module list available, then 2.4.0 is available, and after this if we run the installation again, Sitecore will be installed. Now come to new capabilities. So about new capabilities in 10.4, we are in 10.4 they introduced the Tailwind grid. So it supports the integration of Tailwind CSS, which is a popular utility-first CSS framework, which allows developer to build modern responsive layout more efficiently by leveraging Tailwind grid system and utility classes. Another is custom language and regional support. So in 10.4, user can add manage custom language, regional language more efficiently. The feature is means essential for personalized content that align with the local language and culture of various users. The It is the third one is a most important feature which is introduced in 10.4. So it enhances the SEO by allowing the inclusion of language code in the sitemap URL. Whatever the language we are using, it will included in the URL. So this feature ensures the search engine can better index the multilingual content and understand the language targeting of specific pages. Another one is shown and hide rendering in experience editor. So content author can now choose to show or hide specific rendering directly within the experience editor. This makes it easier to manage content visibility during authoring process and allow for more streamlined preview. So we are going to discuss one by one. So before the 10.4 version of Sitecore, there you are available of Bootstrap, the CS Bootstrap grid system, which was available. But in 10.4, they introduced the Tailwind grid system also. So whenever we are going to create new SSA site, we can choose Tailwind as a grid, or for existing site, we can go to and edit and we can change the, if we are using Bootstrap, then we can shift to Tailwind grid. Now, what are the benefits for Tailwind grid? So Tailwind grid is based on a flexboard and grid, which is highly customizable and a customized way of structure layout. Another one is creating responsive layout in Tailwind is straightforward because Tailwind mobile first approach allow to define grid layout and automatically adjust across devices. Third one is enhanced performance. So Tailwind Grid CSS is designed for performance. So it only includes whenever we are going to publish the CSS, it only includes the styles that we are using. So keeping CSS file lightweight. customizable. So Tailwind configuration file allow to tailor the grid system to project a specific need. You can adjust default setting like a number of column, gap, breakpoint, etc. Another one is easier collaboration between developer and designers. So Tailwind utility-based approach simplify the collaboration. So designer can use the Tailwind utility classes to communicate layout and specifying more efficiently. Now the question arises, okay, what should we use Bootstrap or Tailwind Grid? So here is some comparison. And as we know, if we are using Bootstrap since a long, and we know about the Bootstrap, and there is a need of a quick implementation, then we will go with Bootstrap. And if we want to more control over the design or if we are our project is component based where styling, flexibility, and modular layout important, then definitely we have to go with Tailwind CSS. Another one, the adding a custom language or regional language. So this is to target a more specific audience. Means the regional language we can add in 10.4, any of the region code or any of the language which is basically currently using. And this is allowed to extend the languages format that are already registered in .NET languages. So we can extend this and we can create new. How to do this? Like this. So first of all, we will add a new language. For adding the language, we are going to content editor, Sitecore system languages. Then we click the right click and that whenever the dialog is open, we are using if we are using English and country region code, we are going with AU. Then we can go with the custom code also. Custom anything we can give anything here. But for custom code, I use it. See. Then it will be finished, our language is open. Then for next step, we will go in the tree and the system languages, the new language which we have added is here. Now we can click on this newly added language and base ISO culture, whatever we are using for English, we can choose ISO culture EN. And for fallback region display name, whatever we are going to show or whatever we are taking it for our understanding, we can give any name here and click save. So now we are going to discuss about language code in sitemap. So whenever we are going to create a multilingual site, so it is not necessarily, but it will be good if we are using as language code in the URLs like example.com/en frca for different languages whatever the we are using the our site. So for the SEO or whenever the user is searching the page or user is uh, mm, from the different country or different language, then it will be better to show for the indexing or SEO purpose that we can add language code in this. So there can be three type of configuration. One is default means our the first the default language. If we are using as a English as a default language for the Titan, then except the English, all the languages will be added in the URL. Always will add whatever the default language or whatever the not default language, it will add always add the language in the URL. Never means no language will be added in the sitemap URL. We could do this in previous versions also, but for this we have to code a little bit for this. But in Siteport 10.4, it can be done automatically. So for this, we have to configure it in two part. One is config and one is in content editor. So in the file app config module SXA foundation sitecore foundation multi-site.config. In multi-site.config, we will add two providers. Whatever the name, it is not necessary that IP custom always, but for naming convention, I use this. And IP custom never. In both the provider, we just added language embedding always and language embedding never. So these provider will be used in a content editor to configure the sitemap, whatever the requirement. So, so in a content editor, we will go the site core content, site collection, site setting, and sitemap. In sitemap, there is a URL option which link provider name. If we leave it blank, then it will treat as a default. If we are using any of the link provider, whatever IP custom always, so if in IP custom always, language embedding is always. So it will always add the language. And if I go with the IP custom never, then it will never add the language. Then I will save this setting and regenerate the sitemap. Whatever the link provider or whatever the setting we have done, so next sitemap generate generation will take care of it. Another is show and hide rendering. So for this, I would like to Sumit to take over.
Okay, thanks, Durgesh. So the next feature I would like to cover, that is show or hide rendering in Experience Editor. So Sitecore provides a flexible way to control how components that is called renderings are available to content authors when they are building pages. So one such feature allow you to configure renderings so they only appear in Experience Editor toolbox for specific page templates. This capability ensures that content authors can only use appropriate renderings on the correct page types, which can greatly enhance the consistency and relevancy of the content on your site. To understand the rendering configuration, what you can do is you can do it. You can configure it the rendering availability at two levels. First is globally, and second is per site. So if you want to set it on the global level, so what you need to do is you need to go to your layout rendering and you need to select a rendering. And here is you will find a new field called allowed on template field. So here you need to add a template. And if you have added a template for that rendering, so if you open a page that is created by that template in the experience editor, so that particular rendering will only be shown into the toolbox. And if you open another page with different template, then that particular rendering will not be shown on the toolbox. So the global setting, when you are applying, so that will apply on to all the sites unless it is overridden by any particular sites. On the other hand, if you want to add that on the per site level, for example, if you have multiple sites on your solution, on your Sitecore instance, so you can configure it per site, and this will help if you want to override the global settings. So it will allow you to tailor rendering ability based on the unique needs of each site. So to do that, what you can do is you need to go to your site, you go to settings, and here you will find a new item that is called component configuration. So using the component configuration, you can add insert options that is called component configuration. So this is the layout of component configuration where what you can do is you need to go to on template section, and here you can add a template, and you need to provide the rendering that for example, we have taken the carousel one. So the carousel, if you open a page that is created via this news template, then this carousel rendering will be appear in the toolbox. And if the page is not the news template, that is another template. So the carousel will not be visible onto the toolbox. So this way you can configure it on per site level. So if you want to rendering to be available on the page template, so no special configuration is needed. However, if when you need to restrict the rendering to a specific template, you must adjust the setting for the particular site. So to see how it work, go to next slide. So uh, to see how it works, you can refer to my YouTube video, and this will show you the step-by-step process of to implement it on the global and per site level. So you can go to this video. Go to next slide. So Now, Sitecore 10.4 comes with several key improvements that are designed to enhance user experience, security, and performance. So these updates mainly aim to make the platform more efficient for content authors, marketers, and developers. So below are some of the major enhancements introduced in this release. First is improved accessibility. So Sitecore has made enhancement to improve accessibility, ensuring the platform is easier to use for everyone. This help provide a more inclusive user experience for both authors and end users. Second is trigger campaigns with an item using a rule. So a new features that allow marketers to associate campaigns with specific content items using rules. This automation saves times and ensures that campaigns are linked to the right content effortlessly. This is improving the marketing efficiency as well. Next is Solar soft commit. So Sitecore has introduced Solar soft commits, which improve indexing speeds by allowing faster commits without impacting system performance. This makes the search and indexing process more efficient. Next is block SVG files containing JavaScript. So Sitecore now block SVG file that contains embedded JavaScript code. This is a move that enhance security by preventing potential harmful code from being executed within the images. Next is exclude non-content site from Experience Editor. With this update, you can now exclude non-content site from the Experience Editor. This makes the editor more focused and efficient by only showing relevant sites, simplifying the workflow for content authors. And the new security role introduced. So new security role provide more detailed control over the user permission, allowing administrator to better manage access and security within the platform. This increases the flexibility and safety of user management. So let's discuss them one by one. Go to the next slide. Yeah, accessibility. So first is the accessibility. So Sitecore 10.4 improved accessibility features open up for a whole new world of possibilities for content authors. In the previous version of Sitecore, a user can't navigate to the different areas of content tree using a tab key. Now tab key navigation is fully supported for the ribbons and content tree. And all the operations are available for a user without using a mouse. So you don't need to use a mouse for that one. And here is what you can do with this accessibility features. So you can navigate the ribbon and use these actions like create, rename, move, and delete items. You can navigate to and expand items in the content tree as well using the up and down arrow key and right and left. And you can navigate and select various types of fields in the content area. So you can navigate to the fields and you can update using a tab key as well. So no mouse is required for that one. So this is the great feature in 10.4. Go to the next slide. So yeah, to see how it works, again, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can refer to this video, and this will show you how we can use the accessibility features in the Typeco 10.4. Next slide. Next is next is a trigger campaign or goals based on rules. So this is the next improvement, triggers campaign or goal based on rules. This is relevant if you want to display content from a campaign when certain pages are visited. So what you can do is you can associate campaigns with an item using a rule, and you can associate goals within an item using a rules. So you can connect campaigns or goals or to specific items by creating rules. So if you create rules in Sitecore, so what is a rule? The rule is a made up of condition that when it met, it triggers a specific action. For instance, if a particular page or one of its child pages is visited, so content from one or more campaigns can be shown. So rules can also use tags assigned to items as a condition. For example, if a visitor access a page with a specific tag, activate certain so once you have created a rule that trigger campaigns, you can add another rule to personalize this content. For example, if a visitor frequently revisited the same page, but you want the campaign to display only once, so you can set up a personalization rule to hide the campaign or part of it when the page is revisited. To associate rules with an item, you need to use a rule based on rules. In the content tab, navigate to your Sitecore campaigns and marketing control panel and expand the marketing definition mapping. Right click marketing definition mapping and click insert rule. Uh, in the dialog, enter the name of the rule, for example, campaign rule or goal rule, and then click OK. In the dialog box, enter the name of the rule, for example, for the campaign rule. In to create rule dialog box, you need to select a condition you want to use. For example, uh, where the item is a specific item or one of it, and select and apply the action. For example, if you want it for campaigns, then choose a campaign, and if you want it for goals, then choose a goals, and finally save and publish the item. And this way you will associate campaigns goals within an item. Next slide. So next feature is the soft commit in 10.4. In Solar, a commit saves changes to the index file. So by default, commits are hard commits, which means all changes are written to disk. When you use commit equal to true in an update request, it ensures all changes are saved to disk once the update is complete. If you use a flag soft commit equal to true, the Solar performs a soft commit. This means changes are made visible quickly, but they are not immediately written to disk. This makes the change available for search faster without writing for background process to finish. However, if the server crashes, Solar won't know exactly where the data was stored with the soft commit. So in 10.4, you can use soft commit to make changes visible faster. To do this, what you need to do, you need to configure Solar with the soft commit equal to true flag, and this reduce the load on your speed up the search updates. So the balance, how the balance the commit intervals based on your needs to ensure good performance and data safety. To enable soft commit, what you can do is you need to enable the following setting. That is Solar content search dot solar dot use soft commit. That is by default false. But what you can do is you need to create a patch file, and you need to update it to true. So you can use this patch file to update the setting. Next slide, please. So there are some pros and cons between the Solar soft commit and hard commit. So first go with the Solar soft commit. So it is near real-time indexing. So it makes changes visible quickly without writing to disk. It is faster and less resource intensive. So it does not start a new transition log or write to disk, which save resources. Ideal for faster search needs. So it is good for applications that need quick search updates, not immediate durable. So data is not fully saved to disk right away. So there is a risk if the server crashes. On the other hand, hard commit, it is used for data durability. So it ensures all changes are saved to disk, and data is safe even if the server crashes. It is more resource intensive. So writes to disk, it tries to disk and start a new transition logs which use more resources, and it is default in Sitecore. So by default, Sitecore uses hard commits to ensure data consistency and durability, and it is slower. So it takes longer because it waits for changes to be fully saved on disk. So in summary, knowing when to use Solar soft commits and hard commits can improve your application's performance and responsiveness. Sitecore 10.4 supports for Solar soft commit is a great way to optimize search and enhance the user experience. So go to the next slide. So again, if you want to see how it works or how you can configure, you can refer to my YouTube video, and this will show you how we can configure the Solar soft commit feature. Next slide. Yeah, you can cover this.
Thank you. So SVG, we know that is a popular format for images because of its scalability, lightweight structure. But we know SVG file support XML, so it can include JavaScript within the SVG file. So this can pose a security risk as JavaScript can execute upon rendering. So in recent version of Sitecore, they added a security check to identify and restrict SVG file containing JavaScript. When a user attempt to upload SVG file, like I am uploading sample with JS SVG file. So while I am uploading the file to media library, then it will show me the message that you cannot upload the sample with JS. So a content manager is fully authorized if they want to add this SVG file in the content library. then there is an option to disable this feature. But right now in default feature, Sitecore 10.4 does not allow the SVG file with JS. To enable this feature means disable, we will create a patch file, and in the patch file we will go with this media, validate media, and check for SVG JS. So in this process we will delete this patch file. So next time whenever we are going to upload the SVG file, it will not validate the media for SVG media for JS file. And next time whenever I am going to upload the sample with JS, it will allow me to upload the SVG file. Another thing is non-content site. And non-content site is like a landing page or with wherever where there is no requirement of so many things. For now we can exclude these sites from experience editor. There are some benefit about the performance optimization. So by excluding the non-content side, we can reduce the load on experiences, which can lead to faster response time, improved performance, reduce complexity. We are just if we are focusing on the content-rich site, then it will be managed. It will be easier to manage the content site. Security non-content site may not require the same level of security, so we can just focus on the content-rich site for the security. Cost efficiency, we are using the cloud services or Sitecore experiences. So it may be charged on the data transfer or resource usage, and we are just not using the non-content side. Then we can just focus on content rich. Clear analytics and reporting, by focusing on the only the content rich site, analytics and reports become the more relevant and straightforward. Enhanced user experience, so by directing the resources and just focusing on the content rich site, we can ensure we have a smoother experience when interacting with the web application. A streamlined development and deployment. So if non-content site is we are not focusing on this, then development team and deployment team can streamline the process and ensuring the updates and changes which made efficiently without affecting the non-relevant site. So how we can mark a site as a non-content site? So we will go navigate to Sitecore content, site collection, site setting, site grouping, and select the site. In the tree, I'm just going in the tree site grouping and the site which I want to make as a internal. Then in the property pane, there is another property name, and I will give each internal property name and make it true. So next time it will not load in the experience editor, which saves many things and manageable for content site. We can focus. There are some security roles which are includes, which introduced in the 10.4. One is the client content reader and one is client site manager managing. So purpose of this role grants user to read only access to content within the content data. What is the benefit ideal for user who need to view content just to whatever the user just want to only the view rights on the mm, which without making changes, ensuring content integrity and allowing broad visibility. Another one is a Sitecore client site managing. So purpose of this role is allow to user create, rename, edit and delete site and site collection within the Sitecore. And here is the benefit which provide user with the necessary permission to manage and maintain site structure. It is not related to content. So if there is a user who is managing the structure, site structure or hierarchy of the site, then it will be useful for administrator and developer who oversee the life cycle of different site in platform. There are some deprecated feature in Sitecore 10.4 which will be covered by Mr. Sumit.
Okay, so Sitecore Experience, there are some features deprecated in 10.4. First is Sitecore Experience Commerce. not supported in 10.4. The Phantom JS API has been deprecated and will be removed in future releases as well. The File Explorer has been deprecated and it will be removed in future release as well. The memory monitor hook class, it was deprecated in 10.2 and 10.3, and now it is completely removed from 10.4. SXA JSON template used to define scripting templates has now been removed. The SXA add this rendering is not longer supported. For more information, uh, it is available on this knowledge base article of Sitecore, so you can refer that one. And finally, the SQL Server Batch Link database provided removed. The SQL Server Batch Link database provider is no longer available in the links table. You can refer to this document for more updates into that one. Next slide. So these are some resources that you can refer while you are working with Sitecore 10.4. It contains useful blocks, uh, some installation issues covered, and also the release notes with Sitecore 10.4. So you can refer those one. Next. Yeah, so that's it from our side, and we have covered mostly the things that are related with the new capabilities and improvements in Sitecore 10.4. If you have any question, you may ask. Yeah, I guess there is one question by Rinku. So is it mandatory to use Experience Agent 10.4, or we can use CD server as before? I guess we can work with both CMCD or 10.4. Like what in the recent project, the Experience Edge is being used when we are working with the headless architecture, and if we are using the we need to upload our application to Vercel. So in that type of configuration, we generally prefer the Experience Edge because of the faster performance of the pages. But like if we want to you go with the older approach, so Sitecore 10.4, we can go with that one. But if are using Sitecore XM Cloud, then I guess the recommended way is to use Experience Edge.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Sumit, Durgesh. It's really nice presentation. If anybody has any other question, then please bring it up, or you can message on the chat window. Okay, so I guess there is no further question. So if anybody has any questions, so they can reach to any of them, and we already shared the social share link with you. So thanks again, Sumit and Durgesh, for the nice presentation, and thanks others as well for joining the call. Thank you.
Thanks, Rinku. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.